Well, new at 6, a Madison County Board chairman is getting heat after making a social media comment. In it, he takes aim at Dr. Anthony Fauci, who helped lead America through the coronavirus pandemic. Our Marshall Farmer reports on exactly what was posted and the concern this rhetoric crosses the line into dangerous territory.
I was appalled. I was really quite shocked.
This reaction after Madison County Treasurer Chris Slusser wrote on Facebook that Dr. Anthony Fauci should, quote, receive a public hanging. The now deleted comment was made Wednesday on a now deleted post about the number of times Dr. Fauci pleaded the Fifth during a Senate hearing Wednesday over Republicans asking questions about the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Slusser is a Republican, once a top leader for Madison County's Republican Party. The comment got the attention of many in the Metro East, including State Representative Katie Stewart, who represents the Edwardsville area.
We are elected public officials. We should hold ourselves to a pretty high standard in terms of the public language that we choose to use.
We requested an interview with Chairman Slusser about his comment, but he didn't respond to my calls. Instead, he doubled down on his comment. In a statement to First Alert 4, Slusser says the comment was, quote, obvious rhetorical hyperbole, the kind of exaggerated language people use every day. Representative Stewart disagrees.
It's not a common turn of phrase that someone uses that has other meanings that everybody recognizes. It's a call for violence and it's inappropriate. I'd like to see Chairman Slusser recognize that his comments were wrong, that it is part of the culture of incentivizing and just normalizing violent rhetoric, which normalizes violent behavior. I appreciate you covering this. I think it is really important. I think it's great that it's gotten media attention so that people realize people are paying attention. If you say these harmful things, you're going to be called out on it.
Now, we reached out to Slusser multiple times to give him a chance to talk about this story. He declined to speak with us on camera. Meanwhile, the Madison County Democratic Party is calling on Slusser to resign. Slusser says he won't be doing that. In the newsroom, Marshall Farmer, First Alert 4.